Hey, in this video today, I'm going to talk about the 5 framework of building your online presence and why it's so important for you to be online and start building your online brand. I'm going to talk about that right now. Paul Kim here with K Madison Marketing, and today I'm going to do a slideshow PowerPoint presentation on why it's important for you as an agent and investor to build your online brand and online presence. And I'm going to go over the 5 framework that we use in our agency to help agents and investors. And so let's get right into it. So why is it so important for businesses to be online and have branding online, especially if you're an agent and investor? We live in a digital world right now, and people are now accustomed to going online, especially with their phone. And people are researching businesses and people as well online, and they're accustomed, and it's part of the norm for people to actually Google you to see who you are, what your business does. And so it is not an option, but it is mandatory in my opinion. And it's not going to change. It is the norm. It is part of marketing and it is part of business right now. And so, which not only makes it necessary, but it's mandatory that you put some emphasis on your online presence and branding. And so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to be talking about framework, what we do as an agency, and what I do in my own business as well to build what we have done to build an online presence and online brand. And here's our 5-step framework that we use, that we go through for every one of our clients, as well as including us. Number 1 is discovery. Number 2 is building out the authority hub. Now that's an optional, but that's totally recommended. Number 3 is building out your digital foundation. And number 4 is content marketing with SEO. And then number 5 is client acquisition and retention. And so we're going to go over those 5 framework in detail. Now, the first one is discovery. Discovery is, in order to plan ahead, you need to know where you are. Where do you stand online with your business? And then basically what it means is basically Googling your name or your company. And let's say if you're an agent with a popular name, you can add realtor with your state. So if you type in your realtor and then, if you're unique, your name is unique, you'll show up. If your name is very popular, then you will probably add realtor and then the state. And so for example, my name is Paul Kim, and so Paul Kim is very popular, so I would put in Paul Kim realtor. And if there's a lot of Paul Kim realtors, then you would add the state, and that will pop up all of your, I guess, what Google sees that's associated with you. So are you on Google? Are your social media accounts showing up on your search? Do you have consistent branding across all of those digital assets or digital platforms? And so those are kind of some of the things that you need to take note of and say, okay, these are the things I need to work on. And so what I like to do is when I do presentations or when I do these, whether it's a video, a YouTube video, I like to give plan of action, simple things that you can do to execute immediately. Because at the end of the day, if you're watching this, my goal is for you to take action and execute. And so for this, your plan of action is really, if you're an agent, investor, purchase your domain, whether it's your name or your company. All right. Even if you don't plan to use it, go ahead and reserve it. And if you don't have a website, redirect it to your broker website or to one of your social media profiles, your Google My Business, LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook page, one of those, and make sure that it's visible, especially if you have Instagram. Okay. And if you've purchased from Google Domain, they do have an option for a free website. I don't recommend it right now if you've just purchased it. Something for you to consider, but don't mess around with it. All right. So let's go to the second framework, which is Authority Hub. And so all of your online marketing that you do online should lead to your Authority Hub, which is basically your website. So if you don't have a website, something for you to consider, but I'm going to go over that right now. And so there are a lot of options when it comes to platforms that you can set up to build out your website. Okay. And so my recommendation is for agents and investors using a platform called Carrot. Okay. And for those that, not related to agents, but if you have another service-based business, or you're an online coach, or you're an online creator, I am totally, Kajabi is the way to go, just because of I utilize it for my service-based business, my marketing agency, as well as my real estate community as well. Okay. And so with this in mind, the reason why I picked those is that as a solopreneur, now, if you're a solopreneur, you're an entrepreneur, we wear all hats in our business when we start a company. We're marketing, we're sales, we're operations, we're administration, legal, technology. And so when it comes to online technology, we need something that works and is simple to use. And so I've been through a lot of different platforms. WordPress, you name it, I've been through it. And so when it comes to online technology, Carrot and Kajabi has by far been what I'm very technical in nature. But as time progresses and you become a business owner, I realize that it's so important for us as business owners to find things that are stable and simple to use, and Carrot and Kajabi provides that. And the reason is my problems that I struggle with, and those are your problems probably if you're watching this, is that I've built a website with WordPress with no traffic, and got no traffic. Every time I needed to make a small change on a website, I had to hire a VA or somebody technical to make the change when I was using WordPress, because it was very difficult to use. Now, every time there's an update on a platform with WordPress plugin or something, it caused issues. Whether it's WordPress itself or the plugin, they were always trying to compete, and there's always things that would go wrong. And so it drove me crazy. It took a lot of time away from what I needed to do. And so with regard to the Authority Hub, what I recommend is, this is the realistic cost. Okay. We're talking about $150 to $200 for the platform, whether you're using Carrot or whether you're using Kajabi. Now, it's about $1,000 to set up. Now, whether you have somebody else do it or you do it, it's a matter of spending your time or having somebody take their time and you spend the money. That's what the minimal cost. Okay. And there's monthly costs associated with that, the cost to maintain. Now, you may be thinking, what's there to maintain? There are blog posts that you have to post. There's things that you need to do in order to make sure that your website is relevant and stays up to date. And so there are costs involved. And so I want you to understand, it could be a couple $100, or it could be a couple $1,000, depending upon what you do with your website. Now, if you decide to go with Carrot or Kajabi, and you use the affiliate link associated with in my description, DM me, message me, and let me know that you've signed up, and I will personally walk you through platform, and I'll help you create an implementation plan. All right. And then that's as a thank you for using my affiliate link below. Okay. Now, a website platform is not within your budget, but you want to commit to a website, then I recommend that you get a domain, reserve it, and redirect it. But in the meantime, your next best of course, and I'm going to make a bold statement, is to work on not Instagram, not Facebook. You can set those up, but I think my most important immediate thing that I would do as a local business is to set up a free Google My Business account. Okay. That is the best bang for your buck in terms of your return on investment, whether it's money or time. All right, the third step in our framework is digital foundation. And so a strong building requires a strong foundation. And similarly, a strong business online, an online business requires a strong digital foundation. And so you need to stake your claim in each of the social media platforms. Okay. That's one of the things that we're going to talk about. And, what do I mean by digital foundation? Basically is get your username and profiles consistent across all major platforms. So what does that mean? So for example, in my case, since my company name is K Madison, I wanted to reserve K Madison across all my social media platforms, but I wasn't able to do that. So in those cases, I decided to go with K Madison Marketing. And so I went in and reserved K Madison Marketing or K Madison for all of my social media short name or username. In that case, like Facebook /K Madison Marketing. And you want to do that for your business as well. Okay. And so even if you don't plan to use it, go ahead and reserve it. Okay. We're talking about your website, get your domain. We're talking about Google My Business. Now, Google My Business does enable you to have a short name as well. Okay. I do have a Google My Business a video down below or in my YouTube channel if you're watching this on my YouTube channel. And there's also on YouTube as well. But in YouTube, you need at least 100 subscribers or more in order to create a short URL. Okay. Facebook page, Facebook group doesn't have a username, but a Facebook page does. Instagram username, LinkedIn personal as well as company, and so Twitter as well. So you got other examples. For example, Clubhouse. You've got Pinterest. You've got TikTok. You name it. There's a lot out there. There's also Snapchat. There's other social media platforms that I'm sure are going to be coming up. There's Alignable as well. That's another platform. And so at the end of the day, what I'm saying to you is you need to go as new social media platforms show up and come up. You have to go and make sure that you reserve your name and your branding is the same across all social media. Okay. And so that's what I mean by digital foundation. Consistent branding across all your digital assets. And what is your immediate plan of action with regard to this? Is sign up and register for your accounts and customize your username. Okay. Create a logo and banner for all of your social media accounts. Do not, this is where I see a lot of people, do not get stuck on logo and banner. Do not. Just make one, go to Fiverr and change it later if you have to and make it better. But get it done, make it simple and move on. All right, here we are on our fourth step. Our fourth framework is content marketing and SEO. And so what we do is we focus on evergreen content marketing, evergreen content, and with emphasis on SEO. And so basically, really in this strategy, in this framework is you need to pick your marketing. Okay. There's a lot when it comes to content marketing, but you got to pick your marketing. And this is where most solopreneurs and small businesses get stuck and struggle with a lot. And because they don't have, they don't know where to start. And so, and this is what I'm going to talk about. We are talking about short game and long game. And in the short game, and this is where I think most businesses have to start out with, especially when you're new. You have to do active marketing. So such as connecting with your sphere, your cold marketing, your door knock, and that's going to require your time because that's all you've got, right? Now, for those that have able to put money, they now you you can spend your money on Zillow leads, Facebook ads, Google PPC, and that requires money. But the problem is sometimes, especially when you're new, you don't know what works and what doesn't work, and so my recommendation is active marketing, is where you work with your sphere, you do cold marketing, and your main goal is to start generating and filling up your pipeline. Okay. We're not going to go into the, coaching and anything like that. But so in the long game, we are now, what you want to do, you want to focus on local SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization. And this is where people can find you. They're searching for your business and they're motivated to buy from you. They're motivated to use you. Okay. The second part is brand building, is where now you are attracting your customers and clients because of building out your brand across your social media and getting in front of those people online. Okay. Both the short game and the long game would benefit from having a authority hub, your website. Now it's not mandatory, but it is in the long run beneficial. Okay. Now, this is where I see most mistakes being made by businesses out there, including agents and investors, are that agents and investors try to execute the short game with Facebook ads and or Google PPC without having a strategy in place. And then the other mistake that I see a lot is they're trying a platform for a short period of time and giving up, or they're trying too many different platforms all at the same time and not without any specific goal in mind. And so whether it's, they're trying SEO, brand building, marketing, spending ad budget and things like that. So then they're all over the place. Okay. So our approach is to build out, your long game, because I'm more of the approach of don't want to spend ad money, because at the end of the day I want people to come to me. I want people to come to, be attracting businesses, but also at the same time with lead generation in the short game in mind. And so our approach is to build out your long game with lead generation in the short game. Okay. And we're going to talk about the pros and cons. The pro is you're going to build out the solid online and social media foundation. However, so your SEO results will take time, but your end result is that you're not going to have to rely on ads to generate leads. Okay. The con or the negative part of it will take time to get results. Okay. Anything, I think at the end of the day, if you want to build a solid business, it'll take time, but you need to spend either your time, your effort, or you're going to have you're going to need a marketing budget in order for you to execute on this approach. Okay. So these are the foundation of content marketing and SEO in mind. Okay. So what we do is we are building out your content marketing, your marketing content with an emphasis on SEO. And so we're going to talk about some of the foundational content. We're talking about evergreen content on your website, such as community pages that will stay evergreen. Okay. Weekly blog posting. We'll be focused on posting stuff weekly on the blog that are evergreen with SEO in mind. And then the next item is online reputation manager. And that's mainly basically Google reviews and putting those reviews on your website. And then the next item is digital footprint. Basically, in the online space, basically, digital footprint is having your business listed on various websites. We call them citations. And so the more digital footprint you have online, the better your online presence becomes. And then the other aspect is backlinks, and those are basically other websites that's linking to your website. That's called backlinks. I'm saying in very layman terms. And then lastly, we're talking about branding with video content. And so I know the emphasis is very nowadays more on video content, but I think a lot of times people are executing videos without any strategy in place. And I think that could get overwhelming, and that could lead to a short burst of doing videos and then doing nothing with those. All right. So now we're on the fifth framework, fifth step of our framework. And so in this one, we're going to talk about, this is a lot, client acquisition and retention. And so this topic, I mean, we can go full blown into it, but I'm going to go just an overview of what it is. I think a lot of times people jump to this step without really doing the other steps. And so that is where I think a lot of people spend, waste their marketing budget, marketing dollars, when, you know, once you have everything set, then you can focus and go, you know, put your foot on the gas and really start generating clients and retaining them. And so we're going to go over the generally the some of the ways that you can acquire and retain. Okay, number one is content marketing campaigns. Those are campaigns that you, for example, whether you are doing open houses or whether you're pushing out, giving out comps or CMAs, or your download your, you know, have a PDF on how to increase the value of your home and things like that. And those are campaigns that you run. And then email marketing. Email marketing is, I think, most people utilize it in order to keep people in on top of their mind uh, with their current database. The other email marketing you could are those the email sequences that you send over a period of time to new people that have signed up to your, whether it's CMAs or to your to any type of any type of sign up that they have signed up to from your website, whether from, it could be on social media, it could also be on your website. Okay, and so that's email marketing. Next, we're talking about paid advertising. This is whether you're Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, could also be LinkedIn as well. And these are putting money into Facebook so that you can generate leads off of them, and then you execute email marketing and content marketing in combination to get people to like you, trust you, and then buy from you. Okay. The last thing we want to talk about is event implementation. On a simple level, for an agent, it could be a buyer seminar, first time home buyer seminar that you either did physically or you nowadays on Zoom. In my case, as an investor, we did monthly meetups, and I now do monthly meetups online on Zoom. We do webinars, virtual meetings, virtual buyer seminars, things like that, and summits. And that's one of the things that we did for Real Estate Life 360 as a community. And so we hold annual summits. And so these are some of the ways that you can acquire clients as well as retain them. And so it's a lot involved. Just giving you a framework. And so hopefully in my future videos, future episodes, I'm going to be talking about these in more detail. All right, now that we went over the 5-step framework for building on your online presence, I hope it was helpful. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you in future episodes. If you're on my website, go through some of the steps and you know, take those actions, execute on them, and hopefully this video was valuable enough for you to come back and check us out again. All right. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to you in future episodes. Bye now.